Andrea, welcome back to Date Night with Blinky. I'm hoping this is recording. I'm having some issues today. It's also very windy, so I apologize if you can hear the wind. I can't do anything about that. But let's carry on. Feels like the page is staring back at me. In fact, at this point it probably is. My gaze drifts from the journal to the window by the entrance. Marina's outside, twirling the payphone's cord as she pops in another quarter. She bites her lip and looks through the window. Our eyes meet. She sends me a small, anxious wave. Closing the book, I let out a yawn and remove my head from my fist. I'm sure there's a red imprint on my cheek. Figuring out we had to go to Shiprock was the easy part. Everything else has been a gigantic pain in the ass. There's a rush of precious cold air getting sucked from the building. Marina enters, carefully shutting the door and taking the seat opposite me in the booth.
So how'd it go?
It went fine, I guess.
Your parents are okay with all of this?
Maybe not okay,
A smile creeps onto her face.
but they understand.
At least someone gets it, because I still don't. I'm still mad about the car.
They weren't happy about the car, though.
Me neither.
I think you were the only person who was.
Yep.
How couldn't I be? Mariah showed us that the treasure is real.
You're going to believe the people who stole your car?
It was an accident. They didn't mean to.
No, they meant to.
Besides, they're nice.
No, they're not. Before I can argue further, our waitress emerges from the kitchen carrying our order, a hot black coffee for me, a milkshake for Marina, and a large order of fries for us both. Marina's eyes brighten at the sight of the shake. Like with the slushy, her sweet tooth takes control of her and she practically starts drooling over the glass. With a nod, the waitress disappears back into the kitchen.
Thanks for the food, by the way.
Well, it's not like I really had a choice. I could hear your stomach from the driver's seat. I wasn't about to let you starve to death on my watch. Plus, I was getting pretty hungry too.
Amazingly, Marina didn't freak out at the sight of the diner, like she has at everything else so far. I was genuinely shocked when I didn't hear a gasp of awe escape her mouth as we pulled up.
Hey, Amber, why don't you get a shake too? Coffee and fries don't really go together, don't you think?
I'm fine. I don't really like sweet things.
Blasphemy.
But it's super good! Especially when you dip your fries in it.
She takes several of the fries and does just that, dipping them into the shake like it was ketchup or mustard. I mean, I've done that. It's pretty good.
That's silly. I can do the same thing with my coffee.
Please do not. I don't think that's gonna work. Taking a fry, I dunk it into my coffee and take a bite out of it. That was a bad idea. Yeah. Amazing, I placed the rest of the fry on my napkin and tried to cope with the cold chill and sulfury aftertaste.
Maybe it would work better if you put creamer in it?
Somehow I doubt that. Besides, it would just ruin the coffee.
One of those.
I don't know how you can even drink it without cream, or at least a little sugar. It's so bitter.
I mean, people have their own tastes.
It's an acquired taste. You find flavor in the bitterness.
I had a friend whose dad was always yelling at me for putting sugar and milk in my coffee because that's not how it's supposed to be. You have to drink it black and sugarless at least once, so that you know what the people who made the coffee intended it to taste like. I'm like, alright, cool. I don't have a sophisticated palate, so tastes like coffee.
That's why I think it's weird that you drink something like that.
How do you mean?
I don't know.
You're also bitter, so you should add some sugar. Her brow furrows in deep thought.
You always seem so yes or no about stuff. If you like something, then you do. If you don't like something, then you don't.
You're losing me, Mare.
Mare.
What did Mom used to tell us when we didn't listen to her? Oh, yeah. Basically, you have a really thick head, Amber.
I don't think that's what you meant. I nearly spit the coffee out of my mouth.
Gee, thanks.
That's not what you meant.
Or was it a thick skull?
That's not better.
Whatever, you know what I mean, right?
I think so. Maybe. It wasn't really an acquired taste for me now that I think about it. Maybe I've always liked the bitterness.
Maybe I just convinced myself that I did. I don't know.
Is that a bad thing?
Just like in Mariah's RV, Marina shakes her head and gives me a sweet, genuine smile.
I don't think so. I actually really like it. It reminds me of Shiprock.
You like that she likes bitterness? A warm, tickling sensation bubbles up in my chest. It forces me to smile, but I play it all cool and breezy like.
So I remind you of a rock. You shouldn't say that kind of thing. People might think they're insults.
At this point, I think they are. Got a thick skull, and my voice has gone away. Satisfied with how I played that off, I reach for a fry to reward myself, but instead of a hot crispy goodness, something smooth brushes against my fingers. I gaze down at the plate of fries. Marina's hand for a split second rests below mine. Is she eating all of the fries? We instinctively snap back. Marina's face is a bright shade of pink and mine is probably similar.
Sorry.
The room feels 10 degrees hotter. We try to re-establish eye contact, but our glances shoot off in the other directions as soon as we meet.
Hey, Amber?
I managed to compose myself long enough to look back.
You said something about bills and expenses last night, right? I don't know what exactly you meant by that or what it is you have to pay off, but since we know the treasure is real now, I was wondering, maybe you might think about sticking around to look with me? We could even split it, or something.
Girl, if someone is coming with you on an adventure for treasure, you bet you have to split it with them.
Well, first off, we don't even know if the treasure is actually real. Mariah could be pulling our legs.
My coffee is almost gone. All that's left is a puddle and a few stray grounds.
I'll think about it though.
Really?
I only said I would think about it. Don't get too excited just yet.
I feel like I skipped something. I don't think I did. But what happened? Because last time they were in Mariah's RV and now we're here. Because I didn't play otherwise. Maybe there'll be a flashback?
I won't. I just think it would be super cool.
Marina flops her chin down and rests on the table.
How's it going anyway? Have you figured out where the first part of the treasure might be?
Why aren't you trying, Marina?
No luck. It's not like the guy drew a map or anything. He just jotted down details about the places he went to.
That and rambling about how awesome he was.
Do you think Mariah was right and he hit it on top of old Shippy?
I don't know if you should call it that.
Don't listen to Mariah, okay? She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, like the pictures in the background are mostly like desert, bunch of bikes, some electrical wires. Is that a bridge or a gate? Who knows?
Think about it. How would he even scale the mountain? He was traveling solo on horseback. I doubt he would have the tools to do it. And even if he did, I'm pretty sure he would have gone on and on about it in his journal.
The puppy dog whine, Marina frowns.
Are you sure he didn't mention anything else? Maybe something we didn't catch?
I don't like your tone. I slide the book across the table and over the leftover crumbs, stretching out my stiff joints as I rest against the booth.
Take a look if you want. My eyes are gonna start bleeding if I read it again. The only things he really mentioned are the rocks and the dikes around it.
Oh.
Did Marina and I have the same reaction to the word. Marina forces herself to stare down at the plate, the blush from earlier reappearing. Yeah. Yeah, we did. Oh. Oh.
No, not like that.
Oops, my bad. I stifle a giggle, teasing her is gonna be a blast.
I mean the rocks that branch out from the mountain. That's what they're called. Huh.
It's so simple, but it makes sense. I shoot up and throw down some money. Marina jumps at the sound of the table rattling.
What's the matter? Did you figure out where it is?
Maybe. At least a general area.
I march towards the door. The table rattles again as Marina leaps up. She stays behind to straighten it out before scrambling to catch up with me.
We're going now?
Hell no. We don't have any equipment. But we know someone who does.
Shove the door open, the last bastion between refreshing air and burning dry heat.
Come on. Let's go cash in a favor.
You get a few more than one favor, if you ask me. There's an entire damn car's worth of favors. And a phone. And a wallet.
It sure was nice
Whoa.
for Mariah and her friends to let us use some of their equipment.
Only after that Joseph guy begged her to.
Is this supposed to be happening? Did it glitch out? Uh-oh. Let's just see. Okay. It was just supposed to be there. I pause to look around. We decide to wait until nightfall to go look around some more. It's like an entirely different world the further you get from the insanity. Quiet and calm, the only lights are the stars and the faint glow of the campground, the campers and the motorhomes flickering in the distance. I like the stars. Marina fiddles with the metal detector's headphones, removing them halfway.
Sorry, the beeping's loud. What was that?
Forget it. I'm not playing that game. Just keep listening.
Oh!
Did you find something?
I think so. It's over here.
I set aside my shovel and throw myself to the ground, clawing at the sand. A shiny speck sticks out from the ground. Frantically, I dig it up.
Is it the gold?
It's
Scrape harder.
It's
Harder.
It's
Finally, I unearthed it and hold it up to the starlight.
a soda tab.
Noise.
Damn it! This is the 5th one!
If we find any more, we could start making a curtain out of them.
Send the tab flying, speeding off over the dikes.
Maybe we should call it a night. I'm sure we can find it once we're fresh in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. We can only do it now because Parks and Recreation isn't paying as much attention.
Though even now, someone's still guarding the area near the campground. The rocks give us some cover, so I don't think we'll be spotted, but we still need to be careful.
We'll keep looking for a little while. If we can't find anything, we might want to assume the worst.
Her face wrenches with hopelessness.
Somebody else found it?
That it doesn't exist! Jeez, it's like you've never even considered that it might not be real.
She hasn't.
But Mariah...
Yeah, I know.
Grab my shovel and swing it back over my shoulder. As we walk, we stay close to the mountain range as possible.
Why are you so gung-ho about this thing anyway? If you're just in it for the cash, there are better ways to make money than dragging yourself around the desert.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. It's just...
Her voice trails off. It hangs over us, never fully evaporating into the cool night air.
It's okay. Don't feel like you have to tell me.
We both have things we don't want to talk about. That's becoming very clear. At least Marina doesn't swerve off the road so she can go out. I just don't want to think about it. All I've been doing for the last month is thinking about it. Almost wish my brain would quit working so I wouldn't have to. So, naturally, I take a long, lonely trip with nothing to do except think.
Amber, it's happening again!
What, the aliens? Marina stops, hand quivering as she tightens her grip.
I swear, if this is another soda tab...
I don't think it is. The beeping is really loud, and it's vibrating a lot.
I don't know how metal detectors work. Do they vibrate?
Wait, it's vibrating?
Uh-huh. It feels weird.
The metal detector hovers over the ground between the rock and the sand. I thrust my shovel into the spot, the metal scraping against the edge of the dike. Planting my foot on the shovel's head, I drive it further into the ground, using every ounce of my strength to dig. First load of dirt and sand unclenches from the ground, loosening the earth around it. Throw the load aside and repeat the process. Each time it's a little easier, a little lighter. Finally, the shovel strikes something hard, sending a shocking vibration through my hand and up my entire body.
Bedrock?
I haven't dug that deep.
Dropping to my knees, I reach my hands into the hole and brush off the remaining dirt. Rena leans in, the sound of her anxiously swallowing is barely audible over my heavy breathing. You know, out of context, that's an awkward thing to be saying. Ooh, cuts. Ah. My fingers brush against something. I gulp and pull out the hole's contents. A small, rotting wood box. My heart stops. Trembling, I open the box, leftover dirt falling onto my lap. Gold.
It exists? It exists?
Shush.
It exists!
Shush. Marina yells at the top of her lungs, a yell so loud that it bounces off the mountain, echoing off the horizon and then back again. Marina has been unleashed.
Shh, not so loud. They might hear us.
Oh, they heard you. She lowers her voice to an excited whisper, channeling her energy into bouncing up and down.
But it exists! I told you it did.
She's right, and despite being proven wrong, I can't help but smile. Here I thought it was gonna be some plastic treasure chest with a coupon for chocolate milk inside it or something equally shameless and corporate.
Amber!
The only warning is a quick gust of wind. Before I even have the chance to brace for it, I'm engulfed by Marina and her hug.
What?
It's real! I told you it was! I told you!
Stop for a second and smile.
Yeah, you were right. It's real.
Should we tell someone? What do we even do now?
That is a good question. I would keep it a secret.
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's getting pretty late though. Let's pack it up for the night. We can think about what to do in the morning.
Just cover your tracks, please. For now, we can just marvel at the fact that it's not just boats.
Sound like a plan?
It does, but...
She takes a deep, long breath, inhaling all the air around and maybe even some of mine, then releases it all at once.
It's actually really real!
Marina.
Shh! Marina, quiet! They're gonna hear us.
Like two naughty teenagers in a movie theater. This is a very slow fade. I feel like you could have sped that up